What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha and I'm here with my top 10 television shows of 2019's list. Are you guys ready? Who do you think will make this video? Before I even give you my top, actually, it's not even 10 videos, it's 13. It was so many shows this year that I just love that I couldn't narrow it down to 10. So before I even tell you what my top 13 television shows are of 2019, let me know down below what you think will even make the list. So let's get into my list. At number 13, we have none other than Netflix own competition show Rhythm and Flow. I heard about Rhythm and Flow this time last year when they signed T.I., Cardi B, and Chance the Rapper on to be the judges of the first ever hip-hop competition show. I thought the idea was genius. It was something that should have been done a long time ago, but Netflix is always on the curve of doing stuff that other networks are just not doing. I remember a lot of people were judging Cardi B like, how the hell she gonna judge somebody? She don't even write her own raps. The girl does write her own raps. She also does have writers. All of your favorite rappers have assistants, so stop it with that. But I was like, yes, I cannot wait till this show airs, and it did not disappoint. I was on pins and needles every week when they drop new episodes. They drop 3 episodes pretty much like every week leading up to the finale. The contestants that they had on the show were authentic. They were just creative new beings. It was so much just really good grade A talent on that show. Chance the Rapper was a really good judge. He was kind of like the Simon Cowell of the show, which I was surprised about. Cardi was the funny factor, and T.I. was kind of like the Simon Cowell plus the Randy. It was a really good mix up. They had a lot of guest judges on the show and guest rappers and industry people to come through and give advice and to perform with the artists. I'm not going to tell you who won, but just know that he's my favorite singer of right now's brother, sir. But there was just so much dope talent that came through on this show. I'm pretty sure they're going to get a season 2. Everybody in the industry was watching this show. Viewers loved it. So I can't wait for season 2 of Rhythm and Flow. If you have not watched it, get into it. The cypher's on point. They made the artists have to create their own videos. It was just really dope the way they did everything. So make sure you check out Rhythm and Flow on Netflix. Number 12 on my list. This was actually a show that made it onto last year's list, and it's still on my list this year. The show is just phenomenal. Freeform's Grownish. This show continues to get better and better each season. We're going into season 4, I believe, in actually a few more weeks, and I cannot wait for the show to come back. Season 3 did not disappoint. Yara Shahidi, Chloe and Halle, Diggy Simmons, Trevor Jackson. Everybody on the show just does a phenomenal job with the acting, with the clothes, the storylines. Everything is just so good on Grownish. It's this generation's different world. I just love everything about it. It's funny, it's sexy, it's informative. They talk about a lot of hot button topics. You have the love stories going in there, the friendships, the fashion, everything that you want in a television show, you get it from Grownish. I wish that it was longer than 30 minutes. I wish it was an hour-long show, but it is what it is. Grownish is just so freaking good, and I cannot wait for this new season because somebody's pregnant, child, and we're gonna find out who about to be pregnant in college and shit. I personally think that it's going to be Halle's character. I think it'll be a little bit too obvious if it was Zoe's or Chloe's, Chloe from Chloe and Halle's character. I would be shocked if it was either one of them or the little Latina girl. But Grownish is everything. Make sure you check it out on Freeform. The new season starts literally in a few weeks. Number 11 on my list is a show that debuted this year on the Pop channel, and it is a show called Florida Girls. Florida Girls, child. Is a mess. It is everything. It was so funny. It debuted this summer. So the synopsis of the show is, having grown up in Florida, series creator and executive producer Laura Chen draws upon her real life experiences in the Sunshine State for this comedy about four broke girls who are forced to take stock of their lives when their best friend moves out of their shared mobile home to start a career. Decidedly lowbrow and low rent, the girls struggle to overcome the unfortunate cards they are dealt and find self-worth in a society that deems poor, uneducated women as valueless. The show stars Laura Chen, who is mixed, by the way. She plays a mixed character on the show, and you would think by looking at her that she's not, but she's actually mixed. Patty Guggenheim, Melanie Field, who I absolutely love, and Lacey Mosley. They are just a phenomenal group of women who have come together to play these four friends. It is funny as shit. Kim Whitley plays Laura Chen's mother on the show. The show is just laugh out loud funny. They have been renewed for season 2. I'm so happy about that. It's like a broke girl version of Sex in the City, but way raunchier and funnier. Florida Girls was everything. I could not wait every Wednesday night. They played back-to-back episodes. I was glued to my television. So make sure you catch up with season 1 of Florida Girls. Number 10 on my list is a show that made last year's list, and once again it's here, Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore is one of my favorite reality shows. It is something that I have been watching since its debut in 2009 or 10. I have kept up with the cast. I was so happy when they brought the show back. It's filled with drama, with fighting, with hookups, with baby mama drama, domestic violence, child, divorces, births of babies. I mean, the show gives you everything that you want. It's an hour every week when it does come on. Jersey Shore just does not disappoint. It's funny as hell. Seeing these people that came together 10 years ago and that have formed this friendship and this family with one another, and seeing them go through the trials and tribulations that they go through is just something to watch. They stay in the damn tabloids. Every goddamn week something is going on. The new season is about to come up. Mike is out of jail. Angelina's getting married. She's going to fall out with Snooki and Jay Wild because they're going to ruin her fucking wedding. Girl, I cannot wait for the next season of Jersey Shore, so get into it. The number 9 pick on my list was actually number 1 last year, but now it has dropped to number 9, and it is Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is a Netflix show. It comes on in BBC in over there in the UK, but over here we get to watch it on Netflix. The show stars Cillian Murphy, Helen McCrory, Paul Anderson, Finn Cole, Tom Hardy. The show is one of the best gangster mob shows of all time. It's up there with The Sopranos, with Boardwalk Empire. The acting is great. The storylines are great. The fashions, the scenery, the sets, everything is on point with Peaky Blinders. Season 5 debuted this year on Netflix. I forgot what episode it was. It might have been episode 1 or episode 2. It's this epic scene with Thomas Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, and he's in this open field, and just know there are booby traps set up all around him that can detonate if he steps wrong. And his son comes running towards him because he's a little kid and he doesn't know what's happening. He comes running towards his father. And the acting that Cillian Murphy does in this scene, woo! The music that accompanied it, the overall landscape, visuals, the cinematography. I mean, I was over here sweating bullets like, oh my God, if one of them dies, I'm going to lose my shit. To see Thomas Shelby's character unraveling in every episode, he's losing his fucking mind. The lifestyle is catching up to him. He's losing his shit. People are turning on him left and right. He doesn't know who to trust, who not to trust. Peaky Blinders is so fucking good. Catch up with it now before season 6 airs. Number 8 on my list is a show by the name of Killing Eve. Killing Eve was supposed to make my list last year, but I don't know how in the hell I forgot about it. But Killing Eve is a show starring Jodie Comer, I believe, and Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy. Here's the synopsis. Eve's life as a spy is not adding up to what she had hoped it would be when she started. She is bored and very smart M15 security officer who is very desk bound. I can't pronounce the name of the other girl's character, but she is a very talented killer who clings to the luxury of her job. Eve and the other lady go head to head in a fierce game of cat and mouse, each woman equally obsessed with the other as Eve tasked with hunting down the psychopathic assassin. When I tell you this show is so goddamn good, child, it has this weird twist of Eve and Jodie Comer's character, who is the assassin. They form this sick, twisted relationship with each other, even though Eve's character is supposed to be taking her down. There's this sexual chemistry between the two. I mean, the killings on this show. I'm a killing type of girl. I love to see that type of gruesome shit. The way Jodie Comer kills her victims on this show is just so maniacal and crazy, and I get my life. And the acting by Sandra Oh is just so good. I mean, it's just like James Bond on crack. Like, this show is just, but it's the female version. It's so fucking good. Season 3 will start probably like early summer, so you have 2 seasons to catch up on right now. Check out Killing Eve. It is so fucking good. Number 7 pick was a show that I was not intended on watching until I was listening to the Friend Zone podcast, and Dustin Ross was talking about this show titled David Makes Man, and he was going on and on about how great of a show it was, and how the storylines were so good and the acting was off the chain. So I said, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. So as I was working on one of my books, I was sitting down and I had it on, and I kept on noticing that I was taking my eyes off my computer and looking at the television screen because I was getting caught up in the storyline. And then once I got caught up on the episodes and caught up to where they were with the live airings, I was hooked. David Makes Man is a show that debuted on the OWN network this year. It is set in South Florida. This lyrical coming-of-age story centers on a teenage prodigy named David who lives in the projects but attends a magnet school for academically gifted youngsters. David, played by newcomer Akil McDowell, straddles 2 different worlds, navigating between the streets that raised him and the school that offers him a way out of poverty. Felicia Rashad, who's one of my all-time favorite just human beings on the planet, is on the show as well. She plays one of his teachers. The acting on this show was so freaking good. It's this one particular episode that was like halfway through the season, and that particular episode is what made this become my number 7 pick of 2019. I boo-hooed, cried. It was this funeral-esque scene with singing, and they were in the middle of the quad in the projects, and child, I was over her boo-hoo crying. You just feel for David's character. You're rooting for him. You're disappointed in him. You want to see him get out of this fucked up situation. His character is haunted by the death of his father, who he often talks to the ghost that's in his head. He visualizes in front of him. You just have to watch the show. The show is so fucking good. I hope that they get a season 2. I heard they're getting a season 2. David Makes Man is just one of the best written shows of 2019. Oh, it was so good. Now, my number 6 pick is NBC's Good Girls. Good Girls is a show that I came into late in the game. I initially was going to watch it when it debuted in 2018, but for some reason I didn't get into the first episode, and I was like, fuck it. And then I kept on hearing so much about it, and I said, let me go ahead and watch this shit again, give it another try. And I'm so happy that I did, because baby, the love story between Beth and Rio, child, is one for the books. The show is about when sisters Beth and Annie and their best friend Ruby become fed up with playing by the rules and not getting the respect they deserve, they band together to take control of their lives. By holding up a local grocery store, Beth's the perfect wife and mother, but her used car dealing, cheating husband has sent her family into a financial ruin. Ruby is happily married to a policeman, but can't afford the medical bills and experimental drugs to help her daughter. And Annie, a single mom, is caught in a nasty custody battle with her ex. In desperate need of money, the women plan the heist expecting to ease their financial burdens, but new to the game of crime, they get pulled in deeper than they ever imagined, and the only way out of this will be together. The show is so fucking good. It's sexy, it's thrilling, it's filled with crime, it's funny as hell. You're on the edge of your seats every week. Like I said, this sick and twisted love story between Beth and Rio. Get your panties moist every week. Manny Montana is the perfect antagonist, and he's the hero at the same time, but he's a villain. And oh God, Good Girls is so freaking good. I cannot wait for season 3. Season 1 and season 2 did not fucking disappoint. Season 2 ended off on a dope ass cliffhanger. When I tell y'all, Good Girls is so fucking good. Snowfall is another show that I was late to the game on. I did not start watching Snowfall until 2018. It was a show that I was intending on watching in season 1, but it comes on in the summertime, and during the summertime, that's one of my busiest times of the year because there's so much content that comes on in the summer, especially on Sundays, and I believe that's when it was coming on Sunday nights. So I had so much other shit to watch. You know, you had Power and Claws and all these different things, so I just could not fit it in my schedule. But I have been hearing so much good things about it and how it's one of the most best written shows ever. So I got caught up winter 2018. I set up and binge watched season 1, and I believe, yeah, it was season 1 I binged watched. Season 1 and maybe season 2. Are they on season 3? I can't remember. But I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I was sleeping on this show. If y'all think Power is good, Snowfall makes Power look like Empire. It makes this show look like child's fucking play. Y'all know I hate Power anyway. But if you're a fan of Power, child, Snowfall, bitch. Like I said, Snowfall is so fucking phenomenally written. The one particular episode from this past season when him and his best friend were in the car and he was reprimanding his best friend for constantly getting into it with what's his name? Young boy, baby boy, I forgot the little nigga name. And he was like, I built this shit brick by motherfucking brick by myself. And then after he got done going off, him and the dude was just sitting in the car. He was like, he looked over at him. He said, drive, motherfucker. Man, that shit was so motherfucking good, baby. This past season of Snowfall, child, was everything. Now, my number 4 pick is a show that I've been watching since season 1. But baby, this last season of Queen Sugar, season 4 of Queen Sugar, I don't know what happened over there, if they got new writers, but when I tell you they came back with a motherfucking bang with this season, with the storylines that they had going on, baby, from episode 1, we was like, what in the hell is going on with Nova character? Then you had David Allen Greer coming on to this season, playing Violet's ex-husband, abusive ex-husband, child. David Allen Greer needs to get nominated for an Emmy for that one episode, baby. He was so cunning and sly and slick and nasty. He made you just feel icky. He was such a creep and manipulative. We've never seen David Allen Greer in that type of role ever. He was in rare form. He really got to show his acting chops with that role. Charlie, Bordalone's character, Dawn, the actress that plays Charlie. I mean, Charlie is just that bitch on the show. She gets shit done. She takes no prisoners, bitch. Charlie is just that girl. And I mean, this season was just so good. Like, I was every week anticipating a new episode of Queen Sugar to come on. I was just so in tune with this season and the storylines. It was just phenomenal. I can't wait to see where next season is gonna go, because it ended off on a cliffhanger for Charlie's character, bitch. My number 3 pick was a show that I had no intentions on watching until I heard, once again, Dustin Ross on the Friend Zone podcast talking about how good of a show Euphoria was. I had no intentions on watching Euphoria on HBO because I had heard or read somewhere that it was going to be about these drug-fueled teenagers. And I'm one of those people that I can't watch drug use on television. It makes my body physically hurt. It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't like watching it. It just, maybe because I had a drug-addicted uncle and I actually saw, you know, what drugs do to you in real life. I just don't like watching it. So I was like, I don't want to watch a bunch of damn kids on goddamn drugs. But like I said, I heard Dustin talking about it on the Friend Zone podcast, and he was talking about how great Zendaya was as the character Rue, and how the acting was on the show, and the plot lines and the storytelling and the way that they filmed the show. So once again, it was during the summertime. This was like in July. I set up one day, I think it was on a Sunday, and I binged watched all the episodes that I had missed. I think I was 4 episodes behind. And like 15 minutes into episode 1, I was sitting there like this, hooked. The way they filmed it was so dope. The fashion was 90s-esque. The makeup was 90s-esque. The storylines were so provocative, so in your face, but this is what this generation is going through. It's a show that honestly all parents should fucking watch. If you got a teenager or kids that are about to be teenagers, you need to watch Euphoria so you can know what the hell is going on in your child's life, because these kids are living totally different lives than what we were in the 90s. Drake is one of the producers of the show. He was one of the people that brought this show to HBO. I'm so happy that I got put on to Euphoria. It was 8 episodes for season 1. I was so sad when season 1 ended, but it ended with a bang. I laughed, I cried, my mouth dropped several different times. The storylines are just going to blow you the fuck away. There's so many twists and turns and unexpected shit. Just get ready to gag, bitch. This was Zendaya's breakout role. I've been a huge fan of Zendaya's for so long, and I'm so happy to see she has finally got into her zone. She is stepping into her cunt with this role, and she really got to stretch her acting chops with this one particular episode where her dealer slash friend refuses to give her any drugs, and she's beating on the door, going off, cussing him out because he won't deal to her. I'm so pissed off that Zendaya got snubbed for the Emmys, and I think she got snubbed at the Golden Globes. Fuck them. She deserved everything. She brought it as Rue. We got to see her sing again with the video that she did and the song that she did with Labyrinth. Bitch, I cannot wait for season 2 of Euphoria. It's her and the guy that plays Nate are dating in real life. Get it, Zendaya, because he is bae. My number 2 pick was actually my number 1 pick until recently. My second favorite show of 2019 was Game of Thrones. We waited a year and a half for Game of Thrones to come back. We were all on pins and needles waiting for this final fucking season of this show. A lot of people were mad at how it ended, but I was not one of those people. I was satisfied with the time frame that the producers gave us with the episodes and everything. Yes, some things were rushed, but it is what it is at this point. But the cast, the crew, the actors, the directors, the costume makers, everybody showed up and showed the fuck out. The epic battle of them going against the Night King, that episode was so fucking good. Yeah, it was a little dark, but bitch, open your eyes. Child, to see that old girl was the one that killed the Night King. Spoiler alert if you ain't seen it, oh the fuck well. But to see that Arya was the one that killed the Night King, bitch, was everything. It was so fucking good. Jon Snow is still bae, happy he got to live his life finally at the end and say fuck the Night's Watch. Sad to see Daenerys go. Bran became the new King of Kings, Landon. Tyrion is still around. Cersei finally got her just motherfucking due. Everything was wrapped up good for me, bitch. I have no complaints. I'm excited about this second show coming from the Game of Thrones book series. I think it won't debut though on HBO until like 2021. But prayerfully I'll be here to see it. Game of Thrones was everything in its final seasons. My number one pick of 2019 for television shows is none other than HBO's Watchmen. HBO Watchmen edged out Game of Thrones as my number one television show of 2019 for simply this one aspect: the writing. Where Game of Thrones failed in certain parts with bringing everything around full circle and making sure everything came together, the writers over at Watchmen, bitch, from episode 1 up until how many episodes was it? 6 episodes, I believe. 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 episodes. They brought everything together seamlessly, and there were so many twist turns, so many storylines that had to be connected to other things, but they brought it all together beautifully. There were so many Easter eggs that were planted directly in our face, but we as the viewers didn't know what the fuck was going on, but the way they brought it back and made everything make sense, bitch, I was blown away. Episode 1, just the way it starts off with that Future song and it goes from there. The episode 1 starts off with the tragic killing of all those black people in Oklahoma. I had no idea about none of this happening, so I was educated on that. Regina King was the star of this series. She plays Sister Knight on the show, aka Angela Abraham. Jeremy Irons plays Ozymandias. Tim Blake played Looking Glass. Don Johnson played Chief Judd. Lou Gossett Jr. played Angela's grandfather, spoiler alert on the show. Yaya played Cal Abraham. I mean, the acting on this show. The love story. The love story. That's all I got to say. Now, Watchmen is based on a comic book series, but I never read the comic book series and I never watched the Watchmen movie. So I didn't know what I was going into. I just knew that it was based on a comic book series from, I believe, DC Comics. So I didn't know what I was coming into, but boy, was I pleasantly surprised. Regina King kicked ass on this goddamn show. The writer on the show said he doesn't know if he wants to do a season 2, but he would not be remiss if HBO decides to give us a season 2 without him. I pray to God he changes his mind. Season 1 was so good. It could honestly end right here, the way they wrapped everything together. It was just how great it was written that they made sure that if they didn't get picked up for season 2, we would be satisfied with what we got with season 1, because they wrote a beginning, middle, and end. But Lord knows I want a season 2. I gotta know what else is gonna happen. I want to see more of Regina King's character, of her children, of everyone else in this Oklahoma town. I want to see more kicking ass, bitch. The show, it was so many episodes, I believe. It was one particular episode where you go back in time through her grandfather's eyes. Then you have the episode of when she meets her husband for the first time. I don't want to give anything away, but we see the backstory on how she met her husband. Those 2 episodes within itself kicked Game of Thrones whole ass. The way it was written, the way it was acted, the transitions, everything was just, it was so good, so good. Watchmen, bitch, do yourself a favor and watch Watchmen. You're going to be blown the fuck away. You are really going to be blown away. By the last 3 or 4 episodes, I was sitting over here like, what time is it? What time is it? Is it 8 o'clock yet? Because I could not wait for the show to come on. That's how fucking good Watchmen was. I cried, I hollered, I was over here like, oh my God, no, this is not happening. Please don't let certain people die. It was so fucking good. I can't say much more about the show. Just don't do yourself a disservice by not watching Watchmen. Please watch it. More people that watch it will get a season 2. I gotta have a season 2. I need to know what the fuck is gonna happen. That is my top shows of 2019. Make sure to check out all those shows. If you have watched any of those shows, let's talk down below. Let me know what you think. What are your favorite shows of 2019? Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.